Hi everyone. I wanted to give you a few reminders before we head into the 7th day of our first week in project management. If you have not already gotten out on the discussion boards, please realize that it's the 6th day of the week. And, I know it's our first week of class, but it's really important that you get out there early and often with regard to the discussions. Also, you want to make sure that when you're putting together your discussion board responses, that you do a couple of things just to sort of protect yourself against a variety of weirdnesses that can happen. I've had the problem occasionally, both as a student and as an instructor, of composing things in Blackboard, and I go to publish it and something happens and it disappears. Uh, that's pretty frustrating depending upon what you've written and how long it took you to write it. So my suggestion is to compose whatever it is you plan to post in a Word document. Run spell check. I can't stress this enough. Run spell check. It's going to catch the grammar, punctuation, and of course spelling errors. And I've seen a fair amount of those this week, so you want to make sure that you don't have those because you will lose points for it. Additionally, it'll tell you roughly what your word count is. And remember, all of your responses from your initial posting to your response to other people's postings should be in that 100 to 200 word range. For your initial posting, it really should be closer to 200. I'm not sitting here counting words, I can guarantee that, but it is sort of an idea of the types and levels of responses that you will need to earn full credit for your discussion board responses. And of course, as an online course, those responses, both your initial posting and the responses to others' work, is pretty important in terms of substance. So that brings me to my next point. I would suggest then that you take a look at the rubric as well and make sure that you understand what you need to do to earn, credit for an A response, which is 8 to 10 points. Just go out there and make sure that you understand how often and how frequently you need to respond and what those types of responses contain. This is the area where I think online students do have the most difficulty. For example, if you wrote 2 sentences and they're poorly written and there are problems with capitalization and spelling and grammar and those sorts of things, you can expect to earn very little credit for that. On the contrary, if you put together a nice solid 150 to 200 words and there were no spelling and grammar errors, you can expect to earn the maximum amount of credit for that posting. It all sort of fits together for the one comprehensive picture of those 10 points for that particular assignment for the week. So be sure that you understand what's being expected of you. It's usually a shock, I think, when people get their grades for the first week for discussion boards. And if you have specific questions as to what you did or didn't do, once your grades have been submitted and you've read the feedback that I've provided regarding your grade, if you have further questions after that, then it would be appropriate to email me. In fact, I would suggest that you do that sooner rather than later. Again, the whole timing aspect of discussion boards in an online class is pretty important. So here we are at the 6th day of week 1. Knowing that it's week 1, there are a number of people who have not yet gotten out there, which is problematic. So if you have not gotten out there, you need to get out there and make sure that your postings conform with what the rubric is asking you to do. And again, review the Blackboard course tour videos that I recorded. I took the time to record them for you, so you need to take the time to look at them. Likewise with all the materials that have been posted on the Blackboard site. I took the time to develop and put them out there, so you do need to take the time to read them. And if you have questions, the FAQs board is the best way to address those questions. Each question should be its own separate thread on the FAQs board, just a little reminder there. Looking ahead for next week, one item that I will be adding is some sort of an introduction. I omitted that for the first week, so everybody can be anonymous for the first week, so to speak. And if you already happen to know each other, great. If you don't, it'd be nice to have a little background of who it is that you're working with, since you're not meeting face to face. I'll put that information out there shortly. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. If you don't get a response within 24 hours, chances are I didn't receive the message. So don't feel badly about resending the message. Between now and tomorrow, I'll be refining when my office hours will be. I'm still working out the schedule for the Blackboard Collaborate tool that I'll be using. And I'll also give you another way to contact me, which is basically texting. So keep your eyes open for that, and any announcements that come through as well. And I'm happy to be working with you this semester. If you have any questions or problems, get in touch with me as soon as you encounter them. You should all have your textbooks at least located online. You do not have to purchase the hard copy of the textbook unless you want it. Some people like hard copies and some people like the e-copies. For me, I like books, but I like e-books too. I think it just depends on the subject, frankly. When I took my engineering stats class in my PhD track, it was the last weed out course essentially, and it was complicated and there were errors in the ebook and it was very frustrating. So for me, for that material, I thought it was important that I have a hard copy of the book. So that was already after I'd purchased the e-text. The good news is the e-text for you is free, and if you want it in printed form, you can purchase it from the bookstore. That's not a problem. There are other formats that it comes in. Some people like audiobooks. I personally don't. Sounds like somebody's just yapping at me. I just tune it out. That's not my preferred way to learn. I can if I have to, but again, this is really all about what you like. So explore that if you have not already. And the other issue that you may encounter is that if you're working from home and accessing the e-text, you may run into issues with download speed. That is why we have the computer labs available, and I've put those hours and information, contact information out there for you, so you should utilize those resources, and there really should be no reason why you can't get to your text at all. So if you have problems over and above that, probably would be related to something else, let me know. Hope you've had a good first week, and if you haven't gotten all your deliverables submitted, get out there, get it done. Let's have a good start to the quarter. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.